Monday, same thing, right? I'm probably gonna delete the alert in the Discord though, like I did last time. Because I don't want people to feel like they have to show up. If they want to show up, they would turn alerts on. Not because Discord said failed herp is live. Uh, there it is. Delete. Bye. There we go. So I'm kind of just grading stuff, but why are you crying? Cora, I don't know if I'll get any work done with her. She's goofy. Yeah. Oh, you can't even see her really. Damn. Hi, Chai. What's going on? Oh, I miss being able to play music. Feels bad, man. What are you up to, Chai? I'm like kind of working, kind of streaming. I can't show what I'm doing though, because I have like students' personal information and like stuff like that on my screen because I'm grading. Their projects are really cute though. Uh, oh, Maury's playing Valhalla. Oh shit. Yeah, I had to unhost him to go live. That's right. That's so funny. He's always doing something intense. Like he does not know how to chill. I kind of love it. But sometimes his energy level scares me. I'm alright. I'm good, I think. I didn't sleep too well, but so I'm kind of waiting for Crash later, but I think it's okay. Like I taught two classes already. It's 10:30 a.m. my time. I've been up since like 6. RL, hey. How are you doing? Oh, it's early for you. It's like 7:30, isn't it, RL? Chai, I'm not sure what time zone you're in. I thought you were EST with me, but yeah, I taught two classes already. They seem to go okay. Doing like beginner French in the morning and then advanced in the afternoon. I've got like fourth year learners at 1. So I figured say hey people, you know, pop over. Hmm. So yeah, we just chilling. I'm great and stuff. Yeah, 7:30. What are you doing, man? That's so early. I don't know if I could handle that. uh, but it's good. I told my kids they were gonna have a pop quiz today, and we only meet twice a week, and it wasn't. Or yeah, I told them that this week we would have a pop quiz. I told them today. So, and they're like, when is it gonna be? Because they're little. I'm like, well, if we're not doing it now, we only other meet one other time this week. Hmm, they're so goofy. Breakfast burrito. Oh my God. DC's gonna flip. Oh no. Wait. Okay. I have a question about that, RL. If you're sleeping and it's someone else's job to go to work at whatever time in the morning, how would you know they didn't show up to work and you have to do everything? Like, wouldn't you just be sleeping? Because, like, it's not your fucking turn to go to work. I don't understand. Like, people say that all the time, like, oh, yeah, I had to open or I had to close or I had to come back for shift. But, like, if it's the first one in the morning, like, how would you even know? Does someone wake you up? Like, does the guy who doesn't show to work show up in your phone saying, like, hey, I'm not going to work, you got to do it? That's something that's beyond my understanding. I always wondered about that. Because, like, for teachers, you have to call out. Like, there's a secretary, and you're always like, hey, I'm not coming, get a sub. And usually you do that, like, before class starts so they have time to get somebody. Oh my God, at 5:30. Wow, that's intense. Cora's having a field day behind me. I don't know if you can hear her squeaking. We got our new toys. Yep. Cora, come here. She's so playful in the mornings. I feel bad. Yeah. Oh, you can't really see her, can you? You can see her toy. It's squeaky. Ready? Go. She's wild in the mornings. Dude's always trying to call out. Is it worth getting rid of him or what? I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of call out when I can, but we only have two personal days a year, so can't really leave that quickly. Oh, 5 a.m. That sucks though. I'd be kind of annoyed at that. Like, I'll be honest, I don't like where I work, even though I love teaching and I love teaching French and like doing French stuff. It's rough for at least me with taking off and like the secretaries and what the school has to deal with because sometimes it'll be like 1, 2 a.m. and I'm like, fuck it, I can't handle this. I can't sleep. I'm not gonna be good for the kids in the morning. Like, I'm just gonna go and take a day off, like a mental health day sort of thing. And they only have what, like a couple hours to get it together and find somebody. They usually never do. But if I'll confess, most of the time my school district doesn't even give a shit. They won't bother to get a substitute, and they'll just like put my kids in a room somewhere and be like, "Yeah, you're supposed to have French class." Oh well. It's pretty awkward. Uh-oh. I'm grading stuff right now, and I don't know, maybe it's because we're doing school online, but this kid handed in a completely empty thing. Yikes. Oh no, he did one thing. What is this? Uh-oh. It's almost empty. I'm gonna give him a 6 out of 10. He's passing, but he didn't do shit. Ugh. Mostly empty. Please resubmit. Yikes. Next. Right now I'm looking at these kids' notebooks. Here. Oh, I can't hide it. Wait. Full screen? Hey, there we go. Okay. Look, I'll show you for like a second. It's kind of funny. So this kid, Patrick, he for some reason takes out the chapter title and puts in his name. Whatever. So this notebook is what I made for them, right? They're gonna fill in stuff or write notes or whatever. I give them like the objectives, like what are we gonna learn this unit? What am I gonna be able to do after we learn this stuff and practice? Um, and I have little sticky note things to ask them, like, oh, what can you do already? Because this is unit 2, right? Like you can do something. And they're like, yeah, I can say my name, my age, where I live. Why do I need to be able to do this? If you're talking in French, you could mess up. These are silly. These kids are like 12, 13, 14. What are common commands and requests in school? Please, thank you. I taught them like stand up, sit down, turn the page, get a pencil. Because we're all in French now. Like, they have to understand what I'm saying, right? So I like teach them a verb. What are the different forms of the verb? What are the subjects again for review? I don't know. I feel like this was an alright sort of setup because my kids, normally this age group, they have to walk them through everything. Like, yeah, normally they'd like have this stuff in their notes on their own, but they're not organized. They don't know how to use technology. So I try to set them up for success with like these mostly pre-filled in notebooks. Like there's notes and videos and stuff in here. There's like virtual flashcards it links to. Justin Bieber also took French class when he was a kid. I don't know if anyone knows that. Practice with this video. Here's another pronunciation tip. I have these like checkpoints, like, okay, based on what we know so far of this checklist of stuff we're learning, what can you do? Expressions, they got notes, more notes that they filled in after watching a video. I give them a practice activity and they gotta write their stuff here. I don't know, it's getting better. Like, I have some kids that say they did stuff and they hand it in, like half these slides are empty. Like this would have been an empty slide if the kid didn't do it. But the directions was like, use the expressions from the notes up here. Like to be hot, to be cold, be thirsty. Use an emoji and then make a sentence. Like, he's thirsty, he's right, he's wrong, he's fearful, he's sleepy. Yeah, it's rough. Like, because the kids at this age group anyway, they don't understand like that they've never seen this stuff before. They don't understand that since it's brand new, it's going to actually be really fucking hard. So, like these kids are just barely teenagers and they're like used to classes where, math class, right? You already learned addition and subtraction and multiplication, division. Like you already learned fractions and stuff. Like you get to 8th grade math and it's just 7th grade math plus a little bit more. Like they already have background information. These kids in my class, this is beginner French, like literally the first thing you learn. We did like, hi, how are you? My name is. And now we're doing like stuff in the classroom, like table, window, chair, microphone, or whatever. RL, you were fine. I saw your homework. You had your friend helping out. That's what you need. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with getting help. Like that's how it's supposed to be. My kids see something and they quit because it's like, well, they don't know the answer already. It's like, boy, you gotta fucking look around and like use your resources. They don't understand. Yeah. And like that's kind of how it is with my kids. Like they get so discouraged so quickly and it's not up to me to motivate them, Like I have to show them what they can do and what they're capable of and tell them like at this point, here's what you are likely able to do. And if you can't do this, that, and the other thing, you're in the right place because it's too soon. Kids want to like talk and write things and say things as if they're using English, like with the same skill set. And I'm like, boy, you know how to say, I have a pencil. You can't say, like, I have a pencil for my English class when we write essays. Like, no, we don't have all that information yet. We don't have those details. Like, this stuff we kind of do together so that at least they have, like, their notes to refer to for when we do more difficult stuff. Which honestly, this year we're doing virtual school. Like, I don't know if what the difficult stuff's gonna happen. They're like barely getting through. This one's good though. I'll give them full credit. They have everything all filled out. It makes mostly sense. They even wrote down like, to prepare, I'm going to study masculine versus feminine because that's something new. I had to explain to my kids like, yeah, languages that derive from like European origins, they have genders for objects. English doesn't do that. And German has a neutral gender. They have masculine, feminine, and neutral. And they're like, what? How am I supposed to know? It's a lot to learn. all at once. Study I have and all the expressions with avoir, which is to have, like hot, cold. This kid's on it. I gotta turn off screen share though. There we go. I can't like hide his name if I'm gonna put the grade in. There we go. Bravo. Good job. I'm finding myself this year, I have to grade some stuff like three, four times over because the kids don't read. Like normally what I would do is walk around the classroom, be like, "Hey, you missed this," or "Oh, do you remember how to do that?" or "Let's talk about." We kind of like walk them through stuff. I can't see shit. Now they just hand it in and hope that it's good, and I'm like, "Whoa, you Googled everything, and that's not what we were learning at all. Please redo this entirely." It sucks. So I have to grade things like multiple times because they just do random shit. They don't want to follow the directions or like actually use the resources. It's whack. 103 versus 101. What's the main difference, RO? Was that an advanced course compared to 101 as beginner? Like I know, yeah, online learning, it's freaking tough. It's way tough for sure. Like because not only is it online, but like the course itself is like completely different. Um, like normally in my classroom, for like the first 2 years, everyone's got a partner. They always like work with somebody pretty much on almost everything until we get to like the second half of the year in each class. So beginner level, you got your person you rely on all the time. They're there to help you. Like I tend to check in on kids and like learn their ability levels quickly, like who's really intuitive, who needs extra help, who is not organized and simply just doesn't know what the fuck's going on because they don't know where in their notebook because they're that kind of kid that like if they're writing notes they just like open to a page and write shit down and you're like you're at like the second to last page of your notebook, how are you ever going to find this again? Like those kids who need help, I usually pair in the beginning with the kids who like have it down. They already have school skills like organization and whatever down pat, and they kind of like bring each other up. And like the one kid gets the advantage because they get to teach over and over to the kid who needs help. The kid who needs help gets help, and the kid who's teaching like starts to get things more solidified in their brain. Like the more you repeat it, the more you remember it. But like they don't have that benefit. There's no partner now. Like we basically kind of teach in like a almost like Discord where there's like multiple channels and stuff. We're using Microsoft Teams and it's like I can make channels like Discord. So I made channels for like groups of two or three and I'm like, "Hey, here's your partner chat. You know, if you ever need to tell your partner something or you need help, ask your partner in your partner chat." And like only those two select kids can even see that channel. So I'm like, whatever you want to say, like no one's gonna see it, like it's just you two, and like I'll see it, and that's it. So like for certain activities, I'll be like, okay, I'm going to put the questions on the screen and you and your partner are going to work together in your partner chat and like try and answer the questions. They don't get to talk to each other. They don't get to like look at each other's paper. They don't get to see, oh, they have the book open to that page. Oh, let me just quick catch up. Like, they don't have any of that shit. They literally have to sit there and fucking type back and forth to each other. And like that just takes so much time because like they don't have keyboarding skills. They're 12, you know? So like it's so hard doing online. There's no like speaking component ever. Cuz like in a Discord, like with adults or whatever, university students, you just be like, "Oh yeah, go with go work with your partner. You can sit in voice chat." I can't do that with my kids cuz I'm legally responsible for them. They told us like we're not allowed to leave them unsupervised. Like even though they're in my channel, I can't listen to everything that everyone's saying all at once. So it gets like legally sketchy, which makes me so mad because I want to give them the opportunity to like actually get to know their partner and like work on shit together, but it just doesn't work. Oh, hi, how are you? 123 in colors are for 101. Okay. I know. Isn't there like an in between though? Because RL, you speak Spanish. You're just not as literate as you would have hoped, right? Like the technical stuff is in 103 with grammar and all that. That's how some of my students are. They're natural born Spanish speakers, but they've never taken like time to have classes like in school or private lessons or anything. And like public school is all in English, so they don't have that chance. Our high school kids have a cool class called Spanish for Spanish speakers, which is pretty boss. And it's like a course designed exactly for students like them. Oh, okay. Yeah. Hi, Cora. Good girl. Hey. Mm. Yeah, reading and stuff like that can be really difficult, especially if you're not used to it. Like, 'cause you figure like you're used to the phonetics and sound of the alphabet in English, 'cause that's what you're like learning in public school, at least in the United States. And then uh you try and apply that to other languages like, French or Spanish or something, and it doesn't quite work. That can be rough, especially with like verb tenses. You might recognize the verb, but not the verb tense. Damn, it's 11 already. Hmm. Last night, Sebastian was helping me set up some of my assignments. I'm like grading this thing from last week. Uh, Acid, hey, how are you, dear? I'm working. Are you in school? What time is it? Are you plus 7 hours? Oh no, you're probably home. Let's see. Yeah, Sebastian was helping me set up my classes. Last week was Friday the 13th, and I gave my kids an assignment for like superstitions in French-speaking countries and like Friday the 13th stuff. They had to go on like a web quest, like go on certain websites and find things. 5:53. Oh yeah. Yes. She's been bugging to play all day. It's only 11 a.m. or almost 11 a.m. How was your day, Acid? Must be nice being home. We're still getting started over here. I don't have any kids coming to visit me right now for like extra help, and I don't have class for like an hour. No, wait, like 2 hours. So I figured I'd hang out. Good. What'd you do today? Are you still doing like welding projects? Eeh, plastic welding? I don't know. That was last year though. I got shit all over my desk. Like I got my keyboard, right? But then under my keyboard, not very organized right now. But I also have two textbooks. It's wild. Cora's over there playing tug of war with Setsu. I don't know if you can hear them. Hammering a roof of a car to improve the roof or to make it worse? What? Okay. So yeah, I'm looking at what Sebastian did for me last night so I can grade my stuff for my kids. I like forgot to make the answer key. And he volunteered to help out. You get to learn about French stuff. Uh-oh. Principal sent a message. Voluntary workouts for athletics have been suspended at the high school for the next 2 weeks. Yeah, cases are going up for COVID. We were supposed to be in school in person today. Today was going to be the first day. We were all going to be in the building with the kids, and they had it all set up for like hybrid. So teachers and students were going to be in there with masks, but like only the kids who signed up. You can see her on screen. Yeah. So, then they were like, "Oh, COVID's going up. Never mind. November 30th, Monday after Thanksgiving, we're gonna try again and go back to in person." Let's see. Club and activity meetings and events in person will not be permitted during this time. The target date for these meetings to resume will be Monday, November 30th. Okay, let's not get sick. Sounds good. I'm so glad that our district decided to postpone. Honestly, I hope that we get new policies and like someone fucking regulates it. There's no regulation and they're all just like each school district's just deciding on their own in Pennsylvania at least. Like, "Oh, yeah, we're going to go back to in person because we don't have enough money to give people laptops or whatever they need to get internet access for school. And we legally can't have school for some kids and not have all the kids show up just because they don't have the right resources at home." So like money can be an issue. Other schools are like, "We're rich." Like where I work, all the people in my district are freaking rich. And they're like, "Yeah, we'll just buy a bunch of laptops and Wi-Fi hotspots for everyone so they can have class at home." Okay, lucky us. But then they're saying like online learning's so hard, the kids' morale is really low, and parents are complaining that they have to babysit and like that changes their work schedule and stuff. So the people where I teach are still trying to get their kids to just go back to school and be done with it, even though it's not safe. One traffic sign made a huge dent on the roof. Oh my god. I'd love to see what that looks like, Acid. I'm trying to process what you said, RL, and like I have mixed feelings about that. Like with the teachers making students feel dumb because I have been not only a French teacher, like in my own class that I am teaching for my students, but I've also been like almost like an aide in a way, for ESL, English as a second language. I used to go into teachers' English classes while they are teaching English, not me, and help kids who don't know English as a first language, like who are learning it, because they were like the more advanced kids. They didn't have to be in like the let's learn colors and numbers in English and like start from the beginning. They were like kids who spoke English, read English, they could write in English, but they still needed to like work on some things. So they were in the regular class with everyone else, and I was there to help them and make sure they're organized, they had notes, they understood what they were supposed to do. And those fucking teachers that I was like working in their rooms, they were awful. Like the kids who I was working with, like the teachers knew which kid was which kid. Like, oh, this kid has special needs. This kid is has ADHD and needs to be sitting in the front because he can't focus. Oh, this kid can't hold a pencil right, so he has to work on a tablet. Oh, this kid doesn't speak English perfectly. Like we knew who was who, and the teacher would be like, do you even know what we're doing?" Like they would be awful. And yeah, some teachers do make you feel like an asshole, and it's not fair. But there's also the flip side. Some students don't take responsibility for their learning, and that's cultural. Like, for example, if you feel like you can't do something and you ask for help, now I'm not attacking you, but like just you in general, like a person. If a person feels like they can't do something and asks for help, and the teacher tries to walk them through step by step, like, they can see that this process they're trying to do is complex, so they break it into pieces. Let's look at for piece number one. And they walk them through, like, what do you need to achieve piece number one? Okay, good. Now we're going to use piece number one to work on piece number two. And it goes through the whole process. Like, if a kid feels dumb because we're breaking it down into manageable pieces, that's the kid's emotional intelligence just not being able to handle being singled out or not being able to handle um, that kind of attention from the teacher. Like it kind of is either or. And like sometimes teachers really don't approach it well and they're like condescending and assholes. And I've seen it. And I'm sure that I've done it too on like bad days. You know, it can definitely be hard to ask for help for reasons like that. It's rough because like other times, like I know I'm not as easy on kids when like you can tell they're just fucking off the whole time. And then when it comes time to like have them produce something, they're like, "What are we doing?" And I'm like, "For fuck's sake, I told the directions. We did examples together. Some of your classmates did pieces of it, like for everyone. And now it's time for you to like do your shit on your own because like we did the learning process and now you're on your own because you need to prove that you learned something. And your dumbass is gonna ask, "What are we doing?" Like that doesn't make them stupid, but it makes them pain in my ass. And like I get angry because I spent all that energy with everyone, and that kid's gonna make me do everything again because he didn't care or she didn't care. Like no, then it's a different issue. Hey, Star Fox. I was ending. I've been doing short streams, if that. I haven't been very well, Star Fox. I'm sorry. I don't know. I keep thinking that streaming will help me out, and I think it really does. But yeah, I've been pretty mental lately. I told Derp Squad Discord, like, yeah, hope the Discord doesn't die, but I'm kind of gone for right now. I can't do it. Not 'cause anyone in there is causing me problems. I just don't feel well. I'm still getting, like, help and stuff, and I'm not together. I'm glad you're here, though. I hope you're having a good morning. Ooh, it's early for you, too. 11, 10, 9, 8. Isn't it only 8 a.m.? Aw, thanks, Starbucks. Love you, too. But yeah, I'm glad that Washington's going back to lockdown. I heard Michigan was doing some stuff too. I have to check. They were supposed to have their big announcement last night at 6 p.m. from the governor. But yeah, Acid, I'll check out that picture. I kind of want to see. RL, are you serious? That's so sassy. That's not even the good kind of sassy too. Like I like getting sassy with my kids, but I do not like that behavior. Yours sucked. This was bad. You don't know anything. This is okay, but not good enough. Jesus Christ. Like, I give feedback, but not like that. That's not even constructive feedback. Like for French class, be like, oh, you need to look at your verb conjugations because the verbs aren't spelled right. Like the endings change based on what your subject is, conjugation. Or like, check your spelling, your accent marks all over the place, or you forgot accent marks on your words, or uh, check word order. Every sentence is subject, verb, object. Saying it's not good enough doesn't help anybody. Mm. Yeah, I want to get locked down. Like our school district, because there's no regulation in Pennsylvania, like the parents and stuff are just bitching and pushing and like pressuring the district to open up again. And like our little ones, like kindergarten, first, second, I think all the way up to fifth grade, they were in school, and then cases started going up. The high school and the middle school were about to go back, and then they're like, you know what? This is a terrible idea. We're gonna push it, even though our school board voted like, yes, we're going back. I want regulation because I'm tired of the fucking community trying to pressure the school district into doing stuff that they don't like they shouldn't have say over. Because it's the school board, it's this council of people who vote on what we do, and they are like the bosses, the top bosses. And they're just community members. They're just people. Some of them are educated, some of them are not. They're just people who live where the school is, you know. And Like, so their friends and families and people like send them messages saying like this is what we want, and when they do the vote, they listen to the people who are also some educated, some uneducated. Like some people know what's going on, some people don't. It's a mess. Mon cher ami, tu m'inspires à continuer à apprendre le français. Oh, c'est mignon. Tu m'inspires aussi, Star Fox. Yeah. No, self-taught French, that's awesome. I hope you continue. Acid, no idea for Finland? Yeah, I don't know. Well, basically everyone over here, the United States, anyone who gives a shit, is kind of fingers crossing that the presidential election will kind of push things because we know the president we have currently, Donald Trump, doesn't give a fuck. Hopes everyone dies. Like he's kind of like hands off management. Like I'm gonna do what I want to do with my life. You guys, good luck. Even though he's supposed to show leadership, he's kind of not really making any decisions. Whereas the presidential candidate that seems to be the winner of the election, he has said during his campaign for the election. You know, he has this plan, he has that plan. So he hopefully is going to close things down officially and give more direction for us. Aw, wait, I'm a goose? Why am I a goose? Like silly goose? What is that, Starbucks? Hmm. I'm curious, RL, if you don't mind sharing, what has been the most challenging for you while being in lockdown? I know you said it's kind of a mental challenge. For me personally, I felt isolated, but it was almost a relief. But I think that's because like my personal situation was worrying about dying from being in school with all those children and all their whoever, whatever their contact with. Like I was about to be around hundreds, thousands of people, and that really worried me because I work in a high school and in a middle school, and I would have had to go into both places. There's over 1,000 kids in each building, plus all the teachers and everyone else. That was terrifying. Acid, you're ahead of me on learning Russian. I know you've got that down. I was going to learn Russian. One of my best friends for like years spoke Russian because he was, oh shit, I forget what country. Russia just absorbed this place. Uzbekistan? No, that still exists. I can't actually remember. One of my friends is from Russia, not actually Russia, and what their family had to flee from oppression, and they live in the United States now, and so they speak Russian, and I was learning with him for a while, which was really cool. But that opportunity has since ended. He lives too far away. Yeah, I feel like the introverted thing kind of helps out too. I'm a bit of an introvert. I feel like RL, as quiet as you are, RL, I feel like you do really enjoy your social events and like maybe not events, but like that interaction. I think it matters for people to be like social, at least to some extent. The geese from Aristocats? Starbucks, that's hilarious. Can we get like a drawing of that? That's so cute. That's so funny. Ooh, a kid just handed something in. Yes. Okay, so I found so we have like marking periods. I don't know if you guys remember this from public school or if your situation was different, but for us, we break the school year into four pieces. So they're quarters, but we call the quarters of the year a marking period because when you receive marks, you're like receiving grades on your assignments. So we just closed off and finished the first marking period. So the year is one quarter done. out of four. And for the beginning of the year, like from start to the end of the first marking period, I told my kids like, "Hey, the world's fucking ending right now. If you want to hand in stuff late or you couldn't find the assignment, or you don't know how to use this piece of technology and you're still trying to figure it out, whatever, I'll take it. Like you want to try something and like actually do stuff for French class, I will take it." So I took stuff until the end of the day or the end of the marking period, and some fucking kids handed in like everything for 3 months on like November 10th, the due date, like the last day of the marking period, and I could have just died. So like I had problems keeping up with grading because kids were handing in stuff late, like in piles. I was drowning. So uh I told them like, all right, I think you kind of understand like where to find your resources, how things work, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to desperately attempt to stay up with my grades and like not let it fall behind and just put in like the little missing thing or like a zero for anything that I don't have from students because I was just dying. Mm. Oh, yeah, RL, I can see that. Work and sleep. That's kind of how I felt too for a while, for sure. And that can be a lot for a person. Like, and that's kind of, I guess, kind of what I was saying with the grading, you know? Like, kids are handing in stuff in piles, and I was never able to keep up because normally you assign something, it ends, people hand it in, that's it. Like, you only do a little bit at a time, but like one class worth at a time. Doing it all at once and like staying up late and then taking the weekends to fucking plan the next week ahead and like create new assignments sucked. I can feel that for sure. Yeah, Setsu's here. He's working. Setsu, Acid says hi. Boy, Acid says hi. He says hello. What do you mean your supply shed got hit? Like, by a tornado? By a car? By a drive-by thief? I'm curious what that means. Hmm. I'm rereading the book uh, by Mark Manson, and it is called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. It's a really good book. I may have recommended it before, but it's like it's reachable. Like the guy, Mark Manson, the writer, he does a pretty good job just saying what he thinks and making it come out in a way that's like relatable, I think. Basically, long story short, oh, she ran a car into it? Oh, you read it. Okay. Yeah. I feel like we maybe talked about it months and months ago. Because I read it, I think I read it last year. Like, or maybe it was before that. No, because last school year, March 13th, we went into lockdown. The year before that was like almost summertime, and I was reading it. I remember it was like talking to Gun Ho a lot back then. Yeah, I had the. So, okay, I guess I didn't technically read it. I actually bought a copy and sent it to Sebastian because he said it was supposed to be really good, and he was like, couldn't wait to get his hands on a copy. And when I bought it, it like came with the audio version. So I sent the physical copy to him and I listened to it and it's pretty awesome. I think it's like Maybe 5 hours? I can't remember. But yeah, it's like the less you let yourself care about stuff, the better you feel. But you have to pick and choose what's what. Like, are you gonna give a shit about everything? Nothing at all? If you choose nothing at all, you're a psychopath. You gotta choose something though. Hmm. Star Fox, I still want that drawing. Like, I'm not gonna call you out and be like, draw me a picture, but I'm also gonna call you out and say, draw me a picture. I really want to see what that looks like in your minds. But I remember the drunk goose. There's like, oh, you're the drunk one, the old grumpy drunk one, and there's those two like girls that waddle up. Oh my God, I still, I still want to know what that looks like. Yeah, give a shit about what matters. I still have to practice that. I've been having like mental freakouts and shit over stuff that probably shouldn't matter. I see you, Star Fox. Uh, I really hope that happens. I really do. Because I really like caricature stuff and like, I don't know, creativity like that. It's something else. Alright, now I'm grading this thing. I was grading a backpack project. I taught my kids, like, what are the classroom objects, like pencil, paper, notebook, whatever. And they had a backpack that was empty, and they had to fill it full of pictures of stuff that they would have at school or that they need for their classes. And then they had, like, label each item in French and say, in my backpack, there is blah, 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 and blah. Little sentence with their little objects that they put in there. Super easy. I call it a project, and they're like, oh man, French class is easy. This project was awesome. Whatever. It gets them motivated to keep going. Oh, we'll do it every year. Now, I'm looking at their superstitions slash Friday the 13th thing, because superstitions around the world are funky. Okay, yeah. Starfox, do you want to just message me? I can always look later. I can always call you too. I have work. Uh, I don't know if I'll have a faculty meeting today. They kind of been like making all these emergency meetings half the time because we like, we were gonna do hybrid and then we're not gonna do hybrid and all this stuff's changing all the time. I don't think we have any meetings after work, so I should be free uh your time by noon if you want to talk today. Anytime after noon your time. But yeah, if you want to message me or something, that's cool too. I still have Twitter open or Discord. All right, so one of these superstitions was in Canada called the Bonhomme Setter, which so it's in Quebec, Canada, French-speaking Canada, and the translation for this is like it's really loose. Oh, Discord, okay. All right, Starfox, that sounds good. You know what? I'm gonna open up Discord real quick and message you so I don't forget. Ooh, Acid, I just saw the picture you sent me in Discord. That's nice. Are you making that? Okay. Where's Star Fox? Find Star Fox. Poof. There. message to Star Fox. Okay. No Best Buy parking lots of people selling drugs right in your face. Oh my god, I remember that. Wasn't it like some dude in a Cadillac or whatever? Why are you watching drug deals? I forget. You're like running errands or something? That was wild. Let's see. Oh, see, okay. Bonhomme Setter. Bonhomme is like it's kind of just like a man, like a dude, a person, sort of. It's a little slangy. And Setter is 7 o'clock. So it's like the boogeyman of 7 o'clock. It's this you were talking I know you were talking to me. You were on the phone. We were talking about all kinds of serious stuff, I think. And then you were watching drug deals and we were making fun of it. That was when you were telling me about like your Italian family and stuff and how people are being all weird like in society because people are assholes and short-sighted. Yeah, I remember that. How like you'd be with your own damn family members and people would stop and like wonder like why are you with a bunch of white people? Yeah, that was stupid. I still can't believe you live in an area where there's like drug deals out in the open like that. That must be terrifying. I don't know what I would do. The Bonhomme Center is a bad translation for a bone setter. A bone setter. Bonhomme de setter. It's like back in the day in Canada, they didn't have schools for anyone who spoke French. It was like learn English or get fucked. So anyone who spoke French over in Canada, they just dealt with it. And like so that meant all the educated people only spoke English. So like doctors, they're your English speakers. So let's say you break your bone, right? And you're a French family or French speaking family and like the doctor's gotta come over and set your bone. They're the bone setter. And like the uneducated French speaking people would be like, oh, the bonhomme setter is coming. Like he's the boogeyman at 7 o'clock. And like this evolved over time. And he became the boogeyman at 7 o'clock. And it's like what you tell your kids to make sure that they come home on time. Your legal name is Kenneth Steve Wonder Jr. I ain't seen nothing. You're Stevie Wonder now? Is that the deal? Are you punning me? Star Fox, what are you doing? Jeez Louise. Oh man, that food smells good. You making those wings, Setsu? Oh man. Yeah, I'll just smell them. They smell so good. You're right though, I don't want the greasy stuff. Not right now. Mm. Oh, and some of the other superstitions, in my kids' articles and videos they were supposed to watch, we were looking at stuff from francophone countries, so like any country that speaks French, not necessarily just France. And we were looking at some of the there's this article about like witches in Africa, right? And that spanned a couple of countries like Ghana, Ivory Coast, Senegal, Mali, Nigeria, um, the DRC, so Democratic Republic of the Congo, um, sub-Saharan Africa, basically, and some other areas. And like witchcraft was a big thing because apparently, like colonialization, people then believed in witchcraft in Europe, and that value traveled through to African countries through colonialization. So like the Christian population is huge in Africa. in many African countries that were colonized. And so Christians believe in witches, like some places still do around here. Blows my mind. But if someone is accused of witchcraft, typically women, children, people with disabilities, they're like abandoned or they have to go through a trial, like some sort of ideal ordeal, like Salem witch hunts. They like, oh, if she sinks or if she floats, then she's a witch because she's pretending to be a log of wood or something. Like people floats, that's stupid. And if she sinks, well, she was a human. But like, if you tie a weight to someone's leg and drop them in a lake, like they're gonna sink and they're gonna die. And if they float, then what the hell? You die either way. It's stupid. Like, you just get murdered or banished or imprisoned. There's also a thing called witch camps, like prisons, especially for witches. I had no idea about this stuff. So they're like enemies of society. Like this one chick, one of the videos I sent to my kids was like this girl, Sylvie, ended up in jail because her sister's husband died from some sickness that they didn't have enough money to pay for like proper medical care. And so they blamed Sylvie, like, oh, she's a witch. She killed my husband. What? What is that? So she is now waiting for trial to like see if she's a witch or not. So stupid. It's really interesting to see what people around the world have to deal with. I can't even begin to imagine what's going on in these areas now that COVID's a thing. Blows my mind. Hmm. Like in Mali, there's like Christian influence from colonialism, but also Islam influence on the indigenous peoples. And like the people who already lived there, the indigenous people, had their own beliefs and practices. Like Islam and Christianity just kind of like melted all over it and smothered it. So now they believe in new things. Malians believe that uh let's see. They believe that like when a person dies, it was caused by someone else. Like no one dies without the death being caused by another person through doubtful means. Like there's superstition tied to every single death. Um, like something must have happened to cause their death that we need to be suspicious about. It's like, damn, you can't just get old. Shit. Throw people off a cliff? If they survive, they're innocent. Holy fucking shit. I'm glad that's in a current practice, Acid. What timeline are we talking about? Like way, way, way back a long time ago? That blows my mind. We had some ridiculous stuff too. I wish I knew them offhand. Another one I had my kids look into was this one short one from Switzerland. Like if someone dies, most countries anymore, people wear black because it signifies that the person is in mourning and sad over someone's death who was meaningful to them. In Switzerland, traditional mourning practice is to wear black, but for a whole year. Like on average, people will wear black for a year when someone dies. I did not know that. Oh, also, like a cute superstition, like a nice one in Switzerland is like if you like somebody, you tend to like go get them flowers or something. Well, in Switzerland, you can do that. Flowers is a sign of like attraction and love and stuff, but only specifically in certain numbers. So like here, you go to a store and buy a dozen roses and bring them home, and everyone's like, "Oh, you love me. Thanks for the roses. They're so beautiful." And you're like, "Yeah, beautiful like you, get all flirty and stuff." In Switzerland, if you get an odd number of roses, like 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, it's a sign of love. But an even number, like 12, like a dozen, is not a sign of love. Like, hey, I don't like you like that, but here's some flowers. So you have to get like 11 or 13 or something. I thought that was just so funny when I found that out. So yeah, don't ever get a dozen roses for a Swiss person. When the missionaries went into the deepest, darkest Africa, you think they asked their permission? Like hell, they dragged them out of the trees and right down to the river, and they held them under there until they seen the light. And now the Africans are because they have a god to worship now, which goes to show you have to use force. It's the Christian way. From All in the Family on TV. Seriously, Star Fox, that shit is terrifying. The stuff that we learn about ways of life, historically speaking, scares the shit out of me and makes me so thankful that we don't live like that. Um, at least in first world countries. Uh, in every community in first world countries. I shouldn't even say that because I know there's places around the United States that do vicious shit like that. If you don't follow a religion a certain way or do things just right, people can be nasty. Violence over religion is not worth it. Not at all. Freaks me out, if I'm be honest. Let's see. Olympus Mountain, home of the Finnish gods. Oh, that's epic. That sounds so badass. People held trials there at the mountain and let the gods choose if the person was innocent by throwing them down. Man, that sounds like ancient South American culture, like the Mayans and Incans and stuff. They were all about like sacrifice to the gods. Hey, you guys decide. That's pretty neat. Terrifying, but interesting that people came up with that logic. Yeah, I'm with you, Star Fox. Like, people can believe in Christianity and use it for good. People can believe in Christianity and use it for evil. It's, you know, religion is a tool and a means to salvation, right? You're trying to save yourself and save your soul and feel good about how you live your life. That's what religion is for. Whether it works or not is one thing, but that's the purpose at the base of it is to make people feel like they have a purpose or they're useful or whatever. A lot of people who go through tough times turn to religion, especially during their tough times, because they don't feel useful and they don't feel like they have a purpose, and it gives them one. People who attack over religion or pressure over religion, they're lost and they don't know it. And that's not what it stands for. Like trying to help someone by showing them the way through force, that's not really the same thing anymore now, is it? Like I respect that people want to do certain practices, but once you involve violence, I'm over it. Get out. Guidance counselor for the middle school is sending eighth graders a message. Today is the first day the kids had to turn their cameras on. Like school rule, we need to know that you're here and you're ready to learn. It's a big shock for some of the kids. It's a big shock for me. Look, I'm in my work gear. I did not sleep last night. I had the weirdest fucking I had the weirdest mindfuck dreams possible. I don't want to talk about them, but they woke me up and this is my work outfit today. It is disgraceful. I got a Twitch hoodie, which it's pretty nice. That mirrors the ones that they had at TwitchCon. And if you saw my pants, I got PJs on, and on my feet, I got feet loaf. That's what I call these slippers. They're little hedgehogs. And I do not stand up for class ever. I'm loving working from home. I get to eat fresh food. Uh, I get to sleep until I have to work. Normally, I have to get up at like 6 a.m. and drive to work. I have to leave the house by 6:30 because teachers have to be working in the building and actually actively working by 7:20 a.m. The kids come in and the first class starts at 7:40 a.m. It's so fucking early. So, if the kids don't get here till 7:40 and I'm in my fucking house, you can bet I'm going to be laying in bed until 7:20 when I have to actively be working based on my contract. Like getting out of bed at 7 or 7:10 is amazing compared to getting out of bed at 6 a.m. I love working from home right now. I feel bad that the school rules disallow me from doing certain things, like letting the kids work together unsupervised or being in a voice call together, whatever. But I'll tell you, there are huge perks, like having the opportunity to sleep and eat food that's good for me instead of pack some lunch and have it lukewarm, warm, or cold because there's no time to heat it up or eat it. Or worrying about getting sick because it's a fucking pandemic and I had to bring my lunch with me. What do? Shower and then take lunch? You can't do that either. And I live too far away to actually come home, wash up, and eat food here. Boy, does it feel good to be home. Starfuck, that's funny. If you think, or not you, but if people think that Halloween's terrifying, it's All Saints Day, basically. That's goofy. Where is Rhino? Rotting side boob and DBD. Wait, what are you guys talking about? I got lost. Wait. Dead by Daylight. Rotting side boob. Eh? Are we talking about demonic Halloween stuff? I'm so confused. You guys gotta help me out. I'm gonna look at this kid's paper though while you explain, because I'm so lost. I'm sorry. I don't know what you mean. I think I'm just derping pretty good, but I don't know what's going on. Hmm. Times New Roman. Size 12. Red font. Not bold. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna put on my BRB page. I need water and probably to pick up that food. So I'll be right back, chicken nuggets. Boo. There we go. I rearranged my stream deck and I'm a little lost sometimes still. Couldn't find my screen. Just grading away. I might have to end stream soon. I have to look at what I'm teaching for French 4 today, which are my highest level students. We don't have any fifth years. There weren't enough kids who sign up for the class, and the school always cancels if there's not like at least a dozen. And I don't remember what I'm doing with that this week. I probably have to put together some materials, which takes more brain power than just chatting that I can handle. Grading French 1 stuff is easy though. It's so basic. I feel bad because like I get kind of bored of it, so I'm not always interested, but it does make it easier. The only times when French 1 stuff is not easy is when the kids can't handle something, like they don't know how to study yet, or they don't know how to be organized yet. Like they don't know how to learn a language. They don't know what's useful for them and what's not useful. Thank you, Setsu. So I gotta kind of teach them some extra skills, not just like language stuff. Oh man, food smells so good. This last week, we bought a rabbit that was dead and we cooked it and it was awesome. uh, yeah, it was so good. When I was living in France, I lived with a host family and that was so cool. I tried so many new things with them. They're so good to me. It was like I think I had tried artichoke for the first time ever, like French style artichoke. We tried rabbit, duck, like things that you don't normally find in a regular grocery store. Things that you may not have or might sound strange to have. The only thing that I know is legal in France that we don't have here is horse, I think. It wasn't something I had the opportunity to try. I don't know what I would do, but the rabbit we had was really cool. Um, so I don't remember, like, I wasn't really there watching them prepare it exactly. I used to sit at the kitchen table and they would cook stuff. And I didn't know enough kitchen words at the time to like be able to be useful and helpful. I probably should have gotten up and be like, "Hey, you want me to do something?" Or, but yeah, I was a stupid kid. I mean, it was like 7 years ago, and I was 20 years old, 21 years old, but I didn't have any kitchen experience. It was always someone else cooking and telling me to get out of the way. So I kind of just got out of the way for them too. I didn't want to be intrusive. And when they made this rabbit, I kind of like sort of saw they had rabbit, bowl, put rabbit in bowl, probably cut it up, I don't know. And just dumped a whole bottle of red wine in it. And like I think they maybe cut up potatoes and carrots and some other stuff in there and just put it all in a bowl and put it in the fridge overnight. Or it might have even been left out on the counter to just marinate in the wine and some herbs and spices and stuff. And I'll tell you, it was the scariest looking thing I've ever eaten in my life. The meat was like purple black because the red wine had seeped in and soaked in. But it was so fucking good. It is so fun, Acid. I'm with you on that because, like, you can just make amazing things in the kitchen. I need to keep working on my skills. Sets is amazing. He can do lots of cool stuff with, like, a knife. And I think I still actually have a cut on my finger from when I fucked up. Yep, on my thumb. I was trying to cut an onion and I slipped like a dumbass and I had my thumb like sideways cutting. So I just went huh? Right on my thumb like a stupid person. Like I know you're supposed to hold stuff like this and have your nails kind of pulled back and your thumb pulled back. Because that way when you cut, you like worst case, you touch and stop on your fingernails like a safety mechanism, which are hard, you know. Unless you have some insane knife, you're not going to cut through that. But it's fun, kitchen things. I definitely get discouraged quickly and frustrated quickly, and I can get really impatient. So a lot of times things are like half done or not fully done or like not cooked all the way through because I'm like, ah, it's probably fine. And I'll take it out. Like Asian style? Like Chinese style? What do you mean? Sweet and sour is great. I like that sauce. If it's the Chinese version, I know. I would love to try that. Yay! Yeah, Chinese style food is really good. Setsu and I have some stuff in their fridge right now. His parents always make us really good stuff. They're great at cooking. They're so good. I think the only problem for me is like sometimes Chinese style food is like really greasy. Like there's lots of oil cooked into it. But other than that, it tastes amazing. If I come over to visit you, would you make it? I kind of want to see. I feel like I could learn a lot from you, Acid. You know lots of really cool stuff. Like you've got kitchen background, cooking background. You got like mechanic background with auto body stuff for cars. I'm impressed. Seriously. You know a lot of really cool stuff that interests me. Meat stew. Oh, oh, with your dad's recipe. That's awesome. Yeah. Is it beef? My grandmother makes a beef stew that's so good. We've tried to like, she's alive, so we could still ask her like, well, what do you do? But she's the kind of person that she doesn't cook with measurements. She just kind of does it her own way. So you have to actually be there and like watch her do stuff over and over again, and then try it yourself over and over again to try and make it the way she makes it, you know? But yeah, we attempt to make her beef stew, and I love it. I find I tend to mess up with the meat a lot because you kind of have to like sometimes you have to brown the meat first and then put it in the stew, and like sometimes I'll make it where it's too chewy. I always like get it overcooked somehow. Yeah. So you have to literally be there and watch. Physics and electronics. Man, that's awesome. You have so many things ahead of you. I love it. That's kind of like having all those skills and stuff is really awesome because right now, at least in my personal life, I feel like I'm kind of what's the word? Held down or held back because I have very specific sets of skills and like yeah, if you want, I'd be into it. But like for me personally, I have problems with like switching jobs. Like I love teaching, especially French. Like I don't think I would like teaching something like math or English or like one of the required courses. I love teaching stuff that like kids choose to take my class. Like they want to learn French, and so they sign up for French and then they learn it, and it's awesome. Like the kids who actually want to be here, those are the kids who I can reach out to and like tell them like, "Hey, we're going to do something awesome. Like we're going to do amazing things. We're going to learn stuff. You're going to take this class and you're going to feel capable." You know, like I really love that. But where I work, the pandemic, the government, things are just making it too terrible and I want to switch. I need to get out because my employer is abusive and I've been working there since 2016 and every year it literally gets worse. But like so I wouldn't say I'm jealous, but I love that you have all those opportunities, that you have all those skills and stuff. No, I said I really don't think your language side is weak. Your English is fantastic. I'm sure your Finnish is great too, especially since you went to school and practiced Finnish for years and years. Like you probably don't sound like some genius scientist talking in Finnish, but I'm sure you're intelligent enough. You sound great with English already. I know we played like I think when we first met, AJ was hanging out and we were playing like Pictionary or something, like Scriblio, and you had trouble knowing like letters in English, but who gives a shit? You don't have to spell things out to be smart. It's what you can do that matters. It's not what people think you can do. No, I think you've got everything you need. Uh-oh, it's noon almost. Ah, I should hurry up. I kind of want to like play a game or something. Do you want to do like a game or two of Overwatch before I have to go? I'm just kind of thinking out loud. Uh-oh, this kid didn't do some of the activities. Oopsie. Your Finnish was 6, English was 8, Swedish 8 in 4th through 10 year. Uh, did you have, are your classes out of 10 or out of 20? I forget. Wait, I can just look it up. Finnish grading system. Rating from 4 to 10. Oh, yeah, it's always slightly different in different countries. Sometimes I forget the translation or scaling over from one to the other. Like France, I think is out of 20. I think Denmark is out of 10. United States has letters plus percentages out of 100%. Okay, so 10 is excellent. The top 5% of students would receive a 10. A 9 is very good, 8 is good, 7 is average, 6 is okay, 5 is pass, 4 or less is fail. So 4 to 10 scale rating. Man, the food smells good. Oh, the half grade and quarter grades. Hi, how are you, Zagnor? How's work? We're working. We're talking about school-related stuff a little bit. Acid was just telling us about like the grading scale, because I'm grading my kids, and he's telling us like in Finland what it is. Acid, you're above average according to what I can find, which is pretty good. But hey, that kind of tells us, no matter where you are, there's always going to be someone who can do it better, who can be smarter, who can achieve more, but you're good where you are, without a doubt. Besides, being multilingual is really impressive. Like, even if your grades aren't perfect, you can still function in those languages to a degree, which, at least in my hemisphere, like this continent, Canada, United States, a lot of times, even Mexico, like Central America and stuff, a lot of times people cannot function like that. They only know Spanish, they only know English, they only know, French Canadian, and then their English starts to pick up as they get older. But You're multilingual. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, I mean, if you don't use it, you'll forget things. But that's kind of how it goes. Like, Setsu was teaching me Cantonese, and he was encouraging, and I felt like I was doing pretty good. I learned a lot of vocabulary about food, body parts, things you'd find like in a house. Cause like he was literally just being like, oh, this is this and this is that. Like we were like looking at objects and talking about things in front of us, like bowl, spoon, fork, and uh, putting together basic sentence structure like I like or I need or do you want, stuff like that. And we were getting places like a couple years ago, and then in the past year or two, maybe three, not sure. We haven't been practicing the same way and it fades. But you at least have familiarity with it, and those things and those skills that you had built up, you could build up again. And because you learned it once already, some of it will be familiar to you, which means if you try to relearn it, you'll have an easier time learning it again versus learning it the first time. So don't think that just because you can't do it perfectly right now, don't try and discredit all that hard work that you put in at school. It's still worth something. Like, some of Setsu's family members speak Cantonese, and I can kind of like hang out with them, listen to their conversations, especially the older family members. They'll talk about stuff because they prefer their home language, and sometimes I don't know what the fuck's going on. But other times I can be like, oh, they're talking about that thing that we went to last week, or I don't know. It kind of works out. Ooh, there's a lot of zeros in my grade book. That's not good. The first day of the marking period last started last week, and it was Wednesday, November 11th. I'm kind of wondering what the hell's going on. The kids were feeling all fresh, like, yeah, we did it. We made it through the first marking period. Okay, new grading policy. We're gonna be ready. No, they weren't ready. Damn. Hmm. Well, at least grades are pretty much done for all my middle schoolers. All my beginner learners are done, which just leaves high school. Almost at the 600,000s in Osu? What happens next? 625, yes. Because it's countdown to top 10, right? Top 100, top 200. So you'll be in the 500,000 soon? That's pretty badass. Ooh, I got another great update. God damn it. So my middle schoolers messaged me, hey, I did this thing late. I better change that now before I forget. Uh, period 3. Everyone's got French names. They're really cute. Julie did her Duolingo practice. Uh-oh, I'm losing my voice. Shit, I'm gonna need it for class later. Ah, 815 pp, almost to 1,000. Damn, boy. You're doing those ones that are like You're playing those maps that are so hard. Like, I don't even know. I don't think anyone in Derp Squad or anyone I know would be able to handle them except for you. Like, you've already exceeded our ability level collectively. I'm kind of mad. Like, I was having fun playing together, but now you just destroy me. I can't even keep up. But it's kind of cool that you can go up so quickly. Passed your first 5-star last night? What song? Was it like metal? Alright. Kids are handing in stuff. Every time someone hands in an assignment, I get an email. Plus, it's on the like website where they actually handed it in. I'm like drowning in emails right now. Ugh. Graded that, graded that. Delete, delete, delete. Cool. Padoru Turbo. Shit, I hear my voice disappearing. It sounds different. Alright, I'm gonna Google it. Oh, of course, it's got a car. What is that? Oh, I swear we talked about this kind of car. I'm blanking out. But it's got little headlights go up and down, like mine. Hmm. Man, I want to play some games, but I probably have to end stream in a couple minutes and then eat lunch. So much to do. Thanks for hanging out though, guys. It's kind of nice to just be chilling. Everyone's doing their work or playing stuff or doing their own thing. But I really appreciate the company. Hmm. I'm telling one of my students who was absent today we're gonna have a pub quiz this week. Kind of sounds silly announcing a surprise quiz. Ah, what? Accidentally just closed it. Shit. Be sure to practice the fourniture scolaire, Quizlet, flashcard set, uh, for our pop quiz this week. You'll need to spell each, use proper spelling, and use or in to identify if the word is masculine or feminine. Other due dates and assignments can be found in the Grades tab on Schoology. Be sure. Please check there today. Merci, mademoiselle. There was a big old storm last night, and like trees are down and wires are down. A lot of kids couldn't connect to class today because they're out of internet. They're like getting on their phones and messaging their teachers saying, what did they miss? All right, sweet. I only have high school stuff left to grade. 8, 9, 10 things. I'll probably receive a bunch right before class starts and I'll cry about it, but like, Having 10 things sounds fucking great compared to having 200 things at the end of last marking period. That sucked. Hmm. I'm so glad it's over. Well, that's it for me, guys. Thanks for coming to hang. Sorry for being boring, but it's really nice having your company. Um, I've really wanted to do streaming for a while and just not had the time. So just chatting feels alright. Maybe in the future we'll have ones with directions to them. But I felt it was kind of nice just like swirling around, talking about whatever comes up. Maybe we'll have some game ones, game nights, Among Us. We'll see what happens. It's a little early for me to know and have good plans. But that is all from me. Maybe we can head over to somebody else. I feel like there are some other people who are alive right now. Man of Games, Star Fox, AJ Hokage, Mori, and some people you might not know, like bigger streamers. Oh, and Dank Bien. Hmm. Let's go see what Man of Games is doing. Let's see. Old RuneScape, Dead by Daylight. Oh, that's what Star Fox was saying. Okay, Dead by Daylight is what he's playing. AJ's got Smite, and Mori's doing Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I kind of, honestly, I want to see what the RuneScape looks like. People always talk about it, and I feel like I know it, but I never actually go look. We're going to raid Man of Games. Hope you're ready. Shit, I don't know how to use the commands. I'll have to use the dashboard. Derp. Raid channel. Let's go. Man of Games. Hey, if you're here, if you have any Derp Squad emotes, you got the fail derp emote. I love for you to spam them. If not, maybe just give them a hey, go out, go about your day. You don't have to come to the raid, but I'm gonna set it up right meow. Off we go. Thanks for coming. Hope everyone has a lovely day. Maybe we'll catch up later. Bye.